Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to get this, a empty enclosure, into this, a finished guitar pedal. There is like 100 ways of doing this. This isn't the only way. This is kind of like the budget way, or the cheapest way to get yourself a finished pedal. I just make these for myself. I don't sell them, so they're not like, I wouldn't sell something of this quality. I'd want it to be better quality, but this is okay for me to just use. I'm happy with this for my own personal use. So I'll show you how I box these up and in the next bit of the video. So this is my HM-2 circuit. It's at the moment it's just currently all hooked up to this. All working, just needs to go in the box. We've got a drill template. This is basically to show you where all your holes are going to go. It's got the 3-pole double throw, we've got an LED, 2 switches, 2 diode selecting switches, 4 potentiometers, the input and out to your amp, and the 9-volt. And we've also got this as a sticker. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean up the box first, slap the sticker on, slap some like varnish on it, and then once it's all dry we'll drill the holes. This is our box. It's a 125B box. It's kind of rough, so what we want to do is polish it up. So the first thing I'm going to do is like wash the enclosure, like just get any grime off it. And then I'm going to get like sandpaper. It's wet. It's called wet dry sandpaper. It's like, I think it's about 100 grit. It's not mega coarse. It's kind of like almost like the stuff you'd like do your nails with. And just start with the water. With the water on it, it all helps if there's a bit of water on it. It helps with the polish. And just start polishing that up so it's nice and shiny. Because I'm going to have a sticker on it, it doesn't matter like loads that it's perfect. I think just the top of it really is the bit that matters. Because that's where the sticker's going to shine through. Because everything that's clear on my sticker is going to come through. The aluminium's going to show through. So you're going to be able to see how like the shine and everything. So you don't want any kind of dirty aluminium on it. There we go, that'll do. I'm not super anal on this stuff because I'm not selling these pedals, they're just for me. So like, as long as it's like okay, passable, I'm okay with that. Okay, so once that's all dried off, you don't need to worry about the back for now. Like I said before, I've got a drill template, and obviously that's going to go on there like that and help me get everything into position for when I'm drilling. I'm going to sellotape that on, and then you can make your drills in there, and that should be the way that goes. So I'm going to attempt to get this sticker, put it on there, and then I'm going to make cuts down here and like fold it all around and try and get it as neat as I can. Now that is what it looks like with the sticker on, and now I'm just going to put some varnish on it. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is just put this matte 49 varnish on it. It's very kind of like, if you just leave it like that, it'll just pick off really the print. So if I just put some varnish on it, it's less likely to chip. Like I said before, these are just prototyping boxes that I make. You know, if you wanted to do something that was like a proper production thing, then you'd obviously get it properly printed or screen printed onto here. I'm just making these for myself, so there's a million ways you can do this. This is just one of them. Okay, this says it has like a 6-hour drying time, so I'm gonna chuck it outside and let it dry out there. I got myself a new drill. They're a really annoying light on the front. Okay, what you'll need to drill your holes, first of all, before you go whacking massive holes into the box, drill yourself some pilot holes. So that's just a small hole before you start getting this thing and chucking a big hole in it. So let's stick on the drill template onto the box and drill some small pilot holes. Alright, so just put this piece of paper, stuck it on with sellotape. Not sealed down the flaps because you get a lot of filings that build up inside, so you just want to let them go when they come up like that. I've not used this drill before, so I know it's probably a bit stronger than my other drill. Okay, so what I tend to do is just get that lined up. The other thing I'm going to point out is that doing it this way is not ideal. If you're not confident using a drill like this, don't do it because you'll injure yourself. So I'm confident enough to do this. If you're not, use something like a drill press where you don't have your hands all anywhere near the drill, but I don't mind doing it like this. Shit. Right, and we've done all the holes, so then we can remove the paper. Yeah. So then, there we have our initial pilot holes drawn. They're in there. So then we can go up to the stepper drill and we can start putting the bigger holes in without that slipping around or anything like that. We've got the confidence to then just make those holes a bit bigger wherever we need to, because some of them, like the 4 potentiometer holes, are one size. The 3-pole double throw is quite big. These little switches are smaller than the pots, and then I think I'm going to put a 3mm LED in here instead of a 5mm. And then we've got the jacks at the top and the DC. They're all different size holes as well, so you need the stepper drill to help you get those holes the sizes you want. So I'm just going to change out from my little one up to the stepper. So that's our stepper drill in. Yeah, just gotta get that stuff in tight enough. Right. Then we need to get our parts so we know how big to make the holes. And just keep testing it through. So I've just got all the hardware parts that we're going to be using. So you got the 3-pole double throw, stomp switch. I've got some potentiometers. I'm just using this one so I can see how big I need to make the hole. Got the input and the output jacks. DC 9-volt jack. I've got two clipping switches on this one, which are these really tiny on-off switches. I hope they're going to work. I'm probably going to test them before I put them in the box actually. I've got a 3mm red LED. Just going to go there. So I'm going to take all the screws off them. And so I'll just demonstrate what I'm going to do by doing this first one. Straight away, I've just made that hole bigger. Now just put the component through, so it's not fitting through, so we're just going to make that hole a little bit bigger. So with a stepper drill you can go to the next step. So I've made it one step bigger. And now we can put that through and it fits. Obviously we're going to have to clean up around there with a knife. Just use a scalpel, we can clean up around that component. And so that's one of the components in. So put that to one side. I think I'll do the 3-pole double throw next. Just take the screw off. So we're just left with how big we need to make the hole. This one's quite big, so there's going to be a couple of steps we need to make it. Let's say 2 or 3. So we can rest that quite nicely on the hole that we've already made. So it's not going to slide about. So I just made 3 steps there. And I think I need to make one more to make that the right size. Now I have to make another one. Okay. Okay, so that one fits quite nicely in there. So that's where our stomp switch is going to be. These plastic rings, I put them on the inside because if you put them on the outside they just obscure your artwork. So I get rid of that, put that on the inside. I'll put this little grip on there so that this nut can grip that one. And that's going to go like there and make our... If you line the artwork up correctly, which I've pretty much done, you won't... the hole won't obscure any of your artwork if you've done it correctly. Next I'm going to do these tiny switches. I'm thinking that they're going to only need like one more hole size up. Let's see. Possibly might be another one that I've got to do. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go up to the next size. Some switches. Yeah, and because we've got washers on there and stuff, that's gonna go in there alright, I should think. That's the only other size I can go to anyway. And the potentiometer, because I've just got one, this is easy. Probably just do 2 steps on this. have to be really careful with the artwork because I don't want to kind of scrape it with the iron filings, not the iron filings, the aluminium filings. Okay, that's gone in but not all the way through, so it's a pain because there's like almost like it's a size in between the two steps I've made. So I'll go to the next step. But again, we've got like washers and stuff that will kind of bulk out. Just going to get rid of some of these filings. Right, so that should all go in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the potentiometers done. Now we just have to deal with, I'm just going to take one of these off. The input and output jacks. These are really shit cheap ones. I wanted to get better ones, but they didn't have them in stock, so you just make do with what's on offer. I'm going to start with the 9-volt DC. Give it 2 whacks. Probably a third. So it likes that. Yep, snug in there, nice fit. And we'll do. Shit, I think these are huge things on them. They probably need to be a bit bigger than that. Oh. Not gonna like being in there, but one more. Okay, yeah, just as I suspected, there's not a great deal of room in there for that to go in, but it'll go in. Sometimes I rip a bit of the side off so it fits in. These boxes, I should have made it like a little bit closer to the DC, but I've dealt with this before. That was even worse. Oh, shit. Okay, that'll go in somehow, even if I have to kind of completely force it in. Yeah, because you have to account for like this bend in here. But anyway, I'm not gonna cry too much about it. It'll fit somehow, even if I have to bend it about. But these are weird, I've not used these ones before. I might have to cut a bit off the sides. But anyway, there's your holes. And now it's all time to put everything together. And do the off-board wiring. So like I will reiterate again and again that make sure your circuit works before you put it in a box. So I know my circuit's upstairs. is attached to my test box. It works. I know this HM2 works. I've played through it. It's all good. So if I get any problems with it not working, it's to do with whatever wiring I've done in here. I know it's nothing to do with the circuit, so that just eliminates problems for you when you're doing the wiring. So it's something to remember, and that's why we have a test box, so we can test the circuit itself before you put it in a box. If you haven't tested your circuit and you chuck it in here, you've just got more problems to deal with. And I don't like problems, especially when they're to do with pedals. So after this segment, that's what we're left with, a box with holes in it and the design on front. So next bit, I just generally test everything by putting everything in without wiring it up, just to make sure it all fits in nicely, nothing's getting in the way of each other, and I've not buggered it up too much. And then I start doing the off-board wiring. Okay, so after much drilling, much soldering, this is the finished pedal. I'm not going to show you putting in the bits and soldering that together. There's loads of videos out there that show you how to put the PCB or the vero board into a box. So, you know, this is how this is. I'm going to do a test now. So now for the sound demo of this. It sounds a little bit different to a normal HM2, but there is that chainsaw-y kind of sound as well as there's many other sounds. It's got 2 clipping switches on here, so there is a range of other sounds that it does produce. They're all in the kind of like Boss HM2 or Boss Metal Zone sort of style, I guess. It's a pretty good distortion. So I'll just go through and show you a few sounds, and then I'll do a comparison with a real HM2. It doesn't look like a real HM2 because I've reboxed it into a 125B box. You might have seen that in a previous video, but inside it is a real HM2 circuit. It's not a DIY circuit. It's just in my Godflesh sort of casing. So that is a real HM2. I will compare it with this, so you can hear the kind of comparison with that sort of. I'll compare with the chainsaw sound. It's not as bassy as the HM2, but it has got that chainsaw sound. So I'll go through that now.